I'm Jack, 48 years old. I'm a novelist. Having grown up in an orphanage, I've always had a strong longing for a family. Then, I got married and finally had the family I'd always wanted. I was so happy and vowed to cherish it for life. When I married, my wife, Claire, had an 18-year-old daughter, Charlotte. Now, Charlotte is a respected editor at a publishing company. She's always loved novels, especially the works of the anonymous novelist, I. She became an editor just to meet him. His books are hits one after another, making him a best-selling novelist. Rumor has it that I will soon reveal his face in an exclusive interview and a paid online article at the publishing company where Charlotte works. At the beginning of our marriage, not knowing how to connect, I just focused on earning money for my daughter and becoming someone she could respect. I embraced household chores daily and never missed out on family outings and services. Though I never knew a family, I've tried my best to pour love into ours. Yet, such an incident occurred. Today is my daughter's wedding day. Her partner, Kevin, is into photography. I've only spoken to Kevin via video calls due to my busy schedule and I had never met him in person, but he seems like a good-looking, decent guy. Just before the wedding, I entered the bride's dressing room where my daughter and wife were. Suddenly,
"You old man with no blood relation, get out,"
Charlotte said to me. She used to adore me as if we were blood related, and I thought we were close, so I was baffled by her words.
"I've been looking forward to the day I could get revenge on you for bullying Mom. There's no seat for you today."
I had no idea what she was talking about. My wife just smirked upon hearing this. I was clueless. Then, my wife even handed me a filled-out divorce form. Needing to sort things out, I left the dressing room to be alone. That's when I first met Kevin.
"Jack. Hello.
Yes.
Can't believe we're meeting here. Is work okay?"
Work? Oh, well, yeah. It seems Charlotte told Kevin I couldn't attend the wedding because of work. I was feeling a bit awkward about the earlier incident.
"Could we talk for a moment?"
Then, I learned a shocking truth. After hearing it, I decided to leave. I even filed for divorce, took my belongings, and left the house. I've rented an apartment and now live there alone. A month after the wedding, my wife called.
"Hello. It's been a while. I thought it's about time we discussed dividing the assets. I've been a housewife with no income, so I'll need more than the usual amount. And you need to buy the apartment we lived in and give it to me. I need a place to live."
I'd rather not.
"Huh?"
I instinctively responded, following my heart. Her demanding tone irked me. Above all, after such treatment a month ago, did she really think I'd comply with her demands? I said no, didn't I? I absolutely refused to divide the property or buy the apartment.
You think it's okay for me to be left homeless?"
Well, it's your own doing, isn't it? At this point, I told her about something I learned from Kevin. My wife was clearly panicking over the phone.
"How do you know that?"
I wonder why.
"Don't dodge the question. This is seriously infuriating." "Ugh, it's just the worst. Why does it always have to be me who ends up like this? Please forget about it, Jack. Really. I'm begging you."
While annoyed by my wife's wailing, I tried to continue the conversation.
"How long will you keep tormenting Mom, you old man?"
Charlotte. Suddenly, the person on the line changed to Charlotte.
"Just get on with the property division already. I don't know what you were talking about, but you were bullying Mom, weren't you? Mom's crying, you know. And you always made her cry like this.
No, calm down, Charlotte. You see,
Making excuses is so lame. That's just unacceptable. Just pay Mom the property division and compensation for all the bullying. You're the worst, old man.
So, I am the worst old man, huh?
So when will you pay?
Wait a minute. Right now, I'm getting help from a lawyer. Let's discuss the future with the lawyer.
Why do you need a lawyer?
Well, so. Is that okay?
Fine, whatever you say, we're still the victims here.
We agreed to meet a week later at the law firm I had hired, and the call ended. Thus, the day of the showdown was set for a week later. I had a well-thought-out plan prepared over the past month. That's why I took the call and set the appointment for a week later. On the day, my wife, daughter, and I gathered at the office. We were alone with the lawyer. The four of us sat around a single table. My wife and daughter had grim expressions, and glared at me.
Let's begin discussing the divorce and property division between Jack and Claire. However, before that, Jack has something he wants to ask Charlotte.
Me?
Yeah. I have one thing I want to ask you.
Please go ahead, Jack.
I don't want to.
The lawyer was surprised by my daughter's sudden refusal.
Why do you get to take the lead? After all, it's Dad who's the bad one here. I find this very unpleasant. Can you stop talking down to me?
I agree. Lawyer, please get it together.
Yes. Understood.
The lawyer looked troubled. My daughter and wife's assertive attitudes had him flustered. I spoke gently to my angry daughter. What I want to know is the part where you said, "It's originally my fault." What did I do wrong? What have I done? Please, tell me one last time. When I pleaded with my head bowed, Charlotte was silent for a while before reluctantly telling me.
Dad, you've been cheating all along, haven't you? The dad before you cheated and left us. I loved him so much. It hurt me so much to be betrayed so easily. Choosing another woman over Mom, choosing his desires over his daughter, it all hurt. Seeing Mom cry every day was the hardest part. That's why I can't forgive cheating.
I see. And what does that have to do with me?
It has everything to do with you. You're cheating, aren't you? I knew because Mom told me. You've been cheating for a long time. I thought you were different from that betrayer.
I was confused by my daughter's story. I've never cheated. Charlotte, calm down. I've never cheated, not even once.
That's a lie.
It's the truth. I swear to God, I haven't. What exactly did Mom tell you? Glancing at my wife, she looked away uncomfortably. Like a child caught just before being scolded for a prank.
She told me that Dad was always away from home because he was meeting his mistress. When the phone rings and he's whispering, it's because it's from his mistress. And I saw it once, and the name of the caller was a woman's name.
I knew what my daughter was talking about. But it's definitely not cheating. I have another secret. As I took out an envelope from my bag, I asked my daughter. I heard about the previous dad cheating and running away before we got married, from your mom. He's a terrible man. Hearing that story, I swore I'd never cheat. And there's one thing I want you to confirm.
What?
Is this the previous dad? Saying that, I took out a photo from the envelope. It showed my wife and her ex-husband, John, walking arm in arm.
What is this?
Kevin took this photo of Claire's cheating scene.
Kevin did.
Charlotte and Claire were shocked. Well, it's no wonder they were surprised. Kevin really did a professional detective's job. He captured both of their expressions clearly in the photo. The wrinkles on Claire's face are also perfectly visible, showing it's a recent photo. This was what Kevin told me on the day of the wedding. When he went to a tourist spot for a photo shoot, he saw my wife with an unknown man. They were holding hands, clearly a couple. Kevin, who knows my face, suspected an affair. Imagining the worst, he took a photo just in case. There's not just this photo. I also hired a detective agency, and I have photos of them entering a hotel. I laid out the copied photos on the table and explained them to my daughter.
No way, that's really him.
I've also looked into the ex-husband's background. Turns out, he's a novelist just like me. Didn't he recently publish his second book?
Mom, are these photos real? Mom, of all people, you cheated with him.
Charlotte pressed her, and Claire became flustered. As Claire stayed silent, my Charlotte's anger heated up more and more. Claire kept quiet, but after a while, she suddenly started crying profusely.
These are fake images. Just because your affair was discovered, don't pin the same sin on me. Why do you always try to corner me like this? Please, don't bully me anymore. Charlotte, don't believe such a random printed photo.
Amidst the silence, the lawyer and I were taken aback. I had anticipated this reaction to the copies, so I tried to show the original photos.
You really are a terrible old man. You don't know our struggles, and at the first sign of trouble, you lie to save yourself. The absolute worst. You're nothing to me, forever a stranger.
Charlotte placed her hand on Claire's back and gently stroked it. Then she glared at me fiercely. She sided with Claire. Seeing this, I instinctively realized that going back to how things were was impossible. No matter what evidence I presented, she would side with Claire. Her words were enough to make me feel that. I see. Understood. With that, I made a call to a certain place. I had decided to use my last resort. Hello, it's me. I'm sorry to call suddenly, but I need that matter to be as if it never happened. Yes, that matter. I'm truly sorry. I'll explain more later. With that, I hung up the phone. The both of them looked at me curiously.
What was that call about? Probably his mistress.
Claire said coldly.
Indeed, I did meet with John occasionally. But that was to talk about our daughter. It wasn't a romantic relationship. Is it so strange to talk to an ex-husband about his daughter? To call that cheating, how narrow-minded can you be?
Claire, seeing that Charlotte was on her side, suddenly became more assertive.
Well, indeed, John has been saying he wants to get back together, hasn't he? I wasn't interested before, but I've changed my mind. I've decided to get back together with John. John is a popular author currently promoting his second book. He is completely different from obscure authors like you, I've never seen in bookstores. Unlike you, he has status, money, and a blood relation with Charlotte.
My wife boasted proudly. Then, Charlotte's phone started ringing off the hook. She answered the phone in a panic.
Hello, this is the Charlotte speaking. Yes, yes. What?
Her face grew paler and paler. By the end of the call, she was as white as a ghost.
What should I do? What happened? The novelist, who was scheduled to reveal his face soon, has decided to cancel it. Huh. Isn't that something not to panic about?
It is a reason to panic. Because it's been announced for months now. It was supposed to be revealed along with the new book. Even my boss was super excited about I's first face reveal. What will the fans say now that it's suddenly cancelled? Oh, why all of a sudden?
I.
What?
My words froze, both of them. Yes, this was my secret. I am the novelist, that Charlotte adores. You heard me on the phone earlier, right? That was me talking to my editor. I said I'm canceling the face reveal. You both heard it, didn't you?
No way, you saying I. That's impossible.
Oh, there's a call. Ignoring Charlotte's commotion, I answered the phone. Seeing the caller's name, I deliberately put it on speaker. Hello?
Hello, is this Jack?
Yes, what can I do for you, Mr. Boss? My daughter's eyes widened. She apparently recognized the boss's voice. My wife also seemed to catch on and kept quiet.
Sorry for the sudden contact. I heard that you're canceling the face reveal that was scheduled with our company.
Yes, that's correct.
Why is that?
I'll explain later.
What do you mean later?
Sorry, but please consider the face reveal canceled for now.
Please reconsider, for the sake of our company.
Sorry, I'm in the middle of something, I'll call back later. Ignoring the boss's eagerness to speak, I ended the call. Then, I turned back to the two of them. Claire seemed not to fully understand, but Charlotte was completely frozen. Sorry for lying all this time. The part about barely making ends meet with columns was also a lie. In reality, I have a savings account where I've been depositing the money I earned. I plan to share it with you all someday. The salary I put into the family account was just a portion of it.
What? Why would you keep something so important a secret?
I kept it hidden because I didn't want to cause you any unnecessary trouble. Nowadays, it's too easy for someone to find out about your family or address. So, I was waiting for the right moment to tell you. And, at Charlotte's wedding, I plan to announce that I.
Really?
I thought it would be the perfect surprise for you who loves my work. When I found out you were a big fan of mine, it was the happiest moment of my life. It made all the effort I put into becoming a father you could be proud of worth it. The times I was away from home were due to deadlines or research trips. The calls were from my editor. Probably, the woman's name my daughter saw was the editor's.
That's...
When the boss approached me about revealing my face, I agreed because it was your company. But now, we're strangers. There's no need to go that far anymore. As I said that, Charlotte suddenly bowed her head and apologized.
I'm sorry. I never imagined Dad was I. I'm really sorry for the terrible things I said.
My daughter, desperately trying to appease me, apologized. An editor who judges by status can't be trusted. I said it firmly. It might be harsh as a father, but we're strangers now. As an author, I firmly rejected my daughter. My daughter's head drooped. Feeling a bit sorry for her, I decided to throw her a lifeline. Claire, why don't you introduce her to someone else? Didn't you talk about the popular author John? I've never met such an author at any New Year's party, though. When I said that, she clearly looked frustrated. It seems like she finally realized I was a popular author from the incessant ringing of my phone. After a while of silence, Claire suddenly said with a smile,
Hey Jack, I've decided I won't get back together with John after all. I didn't know you were a famous author and wrongly suspected you of cheating, sorry. That call was from your editor, right? I'm really sorry. From now on, I'll properly support you, Jack. So, let's start over, shall we?
Seeing my wife say this so nonchalantly, I regretted ever marrying such a woman. Blinded by status and money, she flipped her stance so easily. I found it even more unforgivable. I hate people who change their attitude based on status. I'll be filing for damages against you and John.
What?
It's only natural. You even lied to Charlotte. Don't think you'll be forgiven. And Charlotte, I'll explain everything to the boss.
Why?
Because it's easier that way. I've already told him you're my daughter. After finding out I asked him to make sure you wouldn't be ostracized at work. Well, it might be for a different reason now.
What have you done?
It's the result of your own actions. Sure, I was wrong to keep silent. But you did something you shouldn't have. You acted like victims, belittled me, and flipped your stance as soon as you found out about my position. Live your life reflecting on what you've done. With that, the discussion ended. Due to Claire's extravagant spending during the marriage, we settled without dividing assets. Afterward, Charlotte was fired. Possibly because I detailed the whole ordeal to her boss. Since then, she's been struggling, and it seems there's a crisis in her marriage with Kevin. I heard this when I went out for drinks with Kevin. And Claire, having remarried John, seems to be struggling with debt repayment every day. They probably resorted to loans to pay for the damages. John was already known as a struggling author, with obviously no savings. Moreover, with the bad rumors from this incident, it's unlikely any company would want to work with him again. I plan to travel abroad for research as soon as I finish my current work. The damages from my wife and John will be spent on enjoying luxury overseas.